Hello, I'm Howard Bushart, and I'd like to welcome you to DAAC 1319 Counseling, Substance Abuse and Other Disorders. And I'll be your instructor for this semester. And I'm going to go over with you the syllabus a little bit and tell you what you can expect from me and what I'll be expecting from you and how we can help each other to get through the semester, which sounds like a fair and square deal to me. So without further hesitation, I'm going to go over here to the capture devices and share my screen with you so that you can see basically what I'm seeing. At least I hope you can. I think you can. And this is substance-related and addictive disorders. All of this is my contact information where I can be reached. My cell number, my email. My cell number is the best way to get me, and I am religious about my email. But if you email me and don't hear back from me in a relatively short time, feel free to remind me, because sometimes I get busy and I kind of think that maybe I responded to an email when I haven't. So it's okay to remind me if you don't hear back from me in a reasonable amount of time. Down here is other people you might need to get hold of. Division Secretary, Miss John Baptiste, and Dr. Janina Norris, who's Dean of Allied Health and Nursing. And this is your class, DAAC 1319, your sections OL01, which is online. So the rest of it, class location and days are somewhat immaterial. Going down, you have a list of a course description. It provides an overview of causes and consequences of addiction as they relate to the individual, family, community, and society. And we'll also do an overview of alternatives regarding prevention, intervention, and treatment. It includes an explanation of competencies and requirements for licensure in Texas, and it identifies addiction issues related to diverse populations. We'll also be looking at the 12-step programs, Alcoholics Anonymous in particular, but we'll touch on some of the others as well, because they are instrumental in what we do. We refer people to 12-step support groups, and we get a lot of people coming from 12-step support groups into treatment, into counseling or other services that we provide. So it's important to know something about that. And we'll be working primarily from the book Loosening the Grip, and I'll speak to that here in a minute, and the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Your learning outcomes will be to explain the theories of addiction and the disease concept, to identify stages of addictions, to define some psychoactive substances and their properties, to discuss concepts of types of treatment and treatment planning, define ethical standards of the addiction counselor, discuss the process of licensure and requirements for licensure in the state of Texas, which is pretty important too, and explain the 12-step programs and their role in the treatment of addictions. Your pre and co-requisite is reading 300 or equivalent, that's a little redundant, but that's basically a high school reading level. Technology, we expect you to know some things or to be able to learn some things as you go along. We have a lot of technology involved in school nowadays, doing things online. We do a lot of emailing and utilization of social media and all kinds of things that we do. You have Microsoft Office provided to you, Blackboard, Grammarly, and a bunch of other programs that you can utilize to improve your educational experience. And there's a bunch of them listed here. You can go to these links and look at them and see what we have for you, and all of that good stuff. And if you need help with any of it, we've got the help desk. We've got Paula Lee, uh, Our Lady of Blackboard at Lee College, and you can contact her at this number or this email. Um, all email communications from the institution or faculty will be sent to you using your MyLC accounts, or they'll be sent to you as messages inside your Blackboard in your course itself. As I mentioned before, Kenny, Loosening the Grip 12 edition is uh, available to you. Uh, and the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous by Anonymous and Bill Wilson. Any edition will do. Lee College is buying your books this semester. You can get access them. Excuse me, I started yawning. It's messing with me. You can access them through the bookstore by Follett. If you are if you are a user of Kindle, and I can't think Kindle Premier or whatever it is, Loosening the Grip is free to you anyway, and you can download that. Dual credit students should check with their respective school districts regarding access or payment. My books information is where you can find some things out there too. Access Center for Students with Disabilities. We adhere to the American with Disabilities Act. If you have a disability or need some type of particular accommodation, get with the disabilities office, and who's headed up by Kaylee Villanueva. And there's a phone number there for her and her email right here. And Kaylee will evaluate the situation, write me a letter telling me what it is that you require, and I will try to provide that if it's within my power to provide it. Here's the link to the Americans with Disabilities Act if you're interested. Attendance policy for online is established in compliance with the U.S. Department of Education. You can see it here, but basically attendance is showing up in the course room, opening the assignments, completing the assignments, posting them, etc. That's your attendance. I will be opening these up as we go along through the semester. Absences due to religious holidays. This applies for an in-person class that may be meeting once or twice a week, but it really doesn't apply to an online course, because instead of having information available to you on a specific day, you can access it anytime you want to, really. And so if you want to take off for Easter, take off for Easter, but there's days in front of Easter and days after Easter where you can get the required work in. So that's kind of a trade-off if you're doing it online. Holidays are different. Academic honesty policy is basically don't cheat, which, there's no need to in these courses. I give you tests and quizzes, but I allow you to use your book and your notes. So the only catch to that is that they're timed exams and quizzes, so you don't have all day to, to search through notes and books. You have to know your material, but you can look some of it up. If along the way you need assistance in any aspect of the course, I'm your first contact. And if you contact me with a problem you may be having, I will try to resolve it. And that's generally where most of our issues are resolved, is between me and the student. And they're few, really, as I haven't had a lot of things, and I haven't had anything that we couldn't resolve between us. But if they're not resolved after consultation with the instructor, then you have to contact the division chair. And I've got good news and bad news on that. The division chair is very accessible to you because I'm the division chair too. So when you talk to me in any capacity, if you're not satisfied, you can go on and uh, go to the students' appeal policy and do whatever you need to do there. Uh, no more, Title IX. This has to do with providing a safe and harassment free work environment where you don't get sexually harassed or assaulted. And if you or someone you know uh, has experienced that, you can report it both on and off campus. You can tell me because all Lee College faculty are responsible employees. But as a responsible employee, if you report sexual assault or harassment to me, I can't guarantee confidentiality because I'm required to report incidents of sexual misconduct or and thus I can't guarantee confidentiality. I have to say who was involved, when, what happened, etc. Uh, but you can get in touch with Dr. Kaufman, Rosemary Kaufman, at this number. She's our representative to Title IX, and she can help you out with that if you prefer. And if you don't want to do anything like that, there's the Bridge Over Troubled Waters, which does have confidential reporting. And the bridge also provides shelter. If you're in a dangerous situation, a situation that's abusive or you don't feel safe or whatever, you can certainly contact the bridge and they'll be able to help you out. Their contact information is here as well. Withdrawal and policy. This is important. Students are responsible for dropping classes. Uh, you know, we don't do it. Uh, if someone signs up for my class and never shows up, never makes an appearance online, never shows up in person at the face-to-face class. And from the day that I get from the first day of class to the day of record, I never see them or we don't have contact or they don't do any work. I might drop them then, W, as because they never attended, they never participated, and I can do that. After you've come to class, after you start coming to class, after you start doing work, you're kind of locked in as a member of the student body here with me. And if you decide to stop coming, you need to get with admissions and records and drop that class formally because the policy is I don't do it. And this isn't a policy that I came up with. This is the college policy. We will not drop you for just stopping coming to classes. So if you stop coming in March, then in May you're going to get an F. If you stop participating in March, then in May you're going to get an F. If you've got a lot of work that's left in front of you at that time, we are flexible in the online programs. I find that there's a good deal of flexibility there. I try to be flexible in the face-to-face classes too. So if you're having a problem, if you're, whatever that problem may be, if it's getting in the way of your completing your work, if you just can't get a handle on what you're doing, whatever it happens to be, get in touch with me and we'll try to work it out. I will try to help you through this. It is in my best interest and the best interest of my profession for you to be successful as a student here. It's in your best interest as a potential LCDC out there giving back to the community that you be successful in these courses. So as far as I'm concerned, everyone in here has an A right now, and I will be delighted if you have an A at the end of this process as well. You can go here to look at the 6-drop rule, which if you drop our class 6 times, the state may stop paying their share of it, and then you'll see what real tuition's about. And here we have student support and services aside from me. We've got the Learning Hub, the library, math lab, writing center, student success and advising, tech help desk, open computer labs, testing center, all of these things that we have here for students to be successful and to support you in your learning efforts. So look at these things, especially look at scholarships down here. I know that many of my students are on Pell Grants, they're receiving financial aid and that sort of thing. And we have a number of scholarships that go begging every year because no one applies for them and they don't get passed out. So there's money left on the table. And so, who doesn't like free money, huh? So check it out. Academic support referral is something that happens if you're underperforming, if you haven't been participating in class, if I've tried to reach you and work with you and been unsuccessful. I will send a academic support referral to Dr. Kaufman, and she or someone who works in that capacity with her will get in contact with you and see what they can do to help you get through and get beyond whatever barrier is keeping you from being successful. Grades and grade points. I'll talk about those. I'll talk about them now. Grades and grade point averages are just mathematical formulas. And if you make below, well, I've got a little cheat sheet here at the bottom that tells you if you're 89.50 to 100 is an A, 79.50, etc. is a B, C, D, F, and I. I is an important one. I is incomplete. I decide not to give you a grade. And I decide not to give you a grade because you met certain standards. And the standards that you meet to get an I is that you have completed 75% of the work, that's 3/4 of it, with a passing grade, and then something happened and you were unable to finish the rest. I don't know, you were abducted by aliens, you got sick, had to go to the hospital, you had a baby, uh, death in the family. I've had all of that except the abducted by aliens part. Offered up as a reason, a justification for getting an I, and I'm not loath to give an I if something happens because with circumstances beyond your control. But if you're going to do that, you have to let me know. Uh, you know, in a reasonable amount of time. The drop date is April 8th of 2022 is the last day to drop a class. Somewhere around that time is when you need to let me know if something's going on and we have to consider an I for that. I, in good consciousness, can't give you an I. If you show up 2 days before the class is over and I haven't heard from you in a month and a half, and you say, well, I need an I because all this bad stuff happened to me. I just can't, in good conscience, do that. So if you need this, we need to talk about it, and it will be determined on a case by case basis, and we'll make a decision on that. Sometimes you'll get an I if, maybe sometimes you'll get a W. I don't know. But either way, it's pretty much on you to initiate that. I mean, I will try. I will try to reach out, uh, but people slip through the cracks on me sometimes, and I don't get in touch with you. But I am a reasonable guy, and if you have a problem, talk to me. We'll see can we resolve it. All of that said, what you got to do to pass. In the online classes, I will be in the course content. You'll get modules, and these modules are 2 week increments of work. So your module one will be January 10th and January 17th, week of, not dates particular. Uh, and these are the things that you'll have in there to look at and to do. And you're going to be busy in here because I'm throwing a lot of information at you. And it's great information, it's good information. For instance, uh, you'll have an introduction to the course, and that's what I'm doing now. Let's watch this first. Uh, Read chapter one in Loosening the Grip. Read the first 4 chapters of Alcoholics Anonymous. Watch or attend the lectures. If you want to come to class when I am lecturing, you're welcome to do that too. I mean, but you don't have to. So, because I'll be posting, lectures will be posted on here. And we're going to be watching a video series in here, and there will be other assignments that will be made during the semester, and they're not all in the Blackboard now because I don't know exactly what they're going to be yet or when they're going to be. There's will be things like special trainings that are done online. I know that you're going to have one in tobacco. Uh, I think it's in this class, maybe another class, but you'll have a tobacco training, for instance. Um, and so those will be assignments, homework kind of thing. And I used to offer those as extra credit, but people didn't avail themselves of the extra credit. So I decided, well, I'm not going to do extra credit anymore. I'm just going to put these out there. And they'll still function like that, except they'll count against you if you don't take advantage of them. Uh, there's lots of ways to make a grade in here. So that I'll talk about that here in a minute. So that's a lot of that. So so in week one, you're watching a terrific video called Prohibition. It's a 3 part series done by Ken Burns, probably the greatest documentary filmmaker in America today. Uh, and his first video was A Nation of Drunkards. And then in the second one, you'll watch his second video, A Nation of Scofflaws. And then in week 3, you'll finish it up with watching A Nation of Hypocrites. Uh, and you'll have an exam every few weeks. And uh, that's how it'll work. Your modules will be in 2 week increments, so you'll be able to keep track of them that way. Make sure that you do every assignment in the module if you're asked to do something, whatever. Uh, and note here too that when all of these points and things are added up, I'm going to take 5 exams, and they're going to be 50% of your grade. Uh, you're going to have 20 quizzes here that will be 25% of your grade. And you'll have more quizzes than 20, but I'm only going to take the best 20 grades out of that. So you'll be expected to do a couple, maybe 3 quizzes a week. If you have watched the material or read the material or prepared yourself, they'll be easy. If you haven't, it'll be guesswork. My recommendation is that you stay on top of them and don't fall behind. Uh, your assignments, and this be the homework I was telling you about, the projects you'll have. I don't know how many you'll have yet, but I'm going to take 5 of them. So you'll be able to, if you can't attend something that's a one-time only deal online or whatever, I won't fault you for that. Uh, but I'll still take 5 of, you'll have to have 5 of the assignments to get the 25%. I don't know how many that will be, but a minimum of 5. Um, okay. And as you look at these points, the way they're tabulated in Blackboard, they'll have cumulative points, how many that you've amassed by doing these assignments. Uh, and if you see 100 points over there in your total and say, well, that's it, I got an A, that's not true. If you want the A, it'll be around 800 points. So, uh, uh, to be 100% anyway. And so, uh, pay attention to that. Make sure that you're doing all of your assignments, and that if you're missing any, that you get caught up on it before the end of the semester. And there you go. That's really all that I needed to say about that. Did I get me back yet? Oh, there I am. Uh, and that's really all I have to say about that. I hope that you have a happy, productive, and satisfying experience in this class. I'm certainly going to do what I can to make that happen for you, and I look forward to working with all of you moving forward. So, good luck to everyone, and we'll see you soon, right?